Good morning.
Good morning.
Everything is kung fu. Somehow my adrenaline gets going when I've watched that. I've watched it now a few times since I found it on YouTube for today. Everything is kung fu. Everything is energy. Everything. And how many of us have had that tantrum? Things just aren't working. Or whoever it is that's in our face is not working. The situation's not working. And sometimes we need a teacher who reminds us of the basics, the root of life. And everything is kung fu is not so different from the everything of life, which is God. So we're still working through our words. And today we're working on Muladhara. I know a lot of people saw that and they're, what is that? What is that? It's the root chakra, located at the base of the spine, the pelvic floor, and the first 3 vertebrae. The root chakra is responsible for your sense of safety and security on this earthly journey. Balancing the root chakra creates the solid foundation for opening the chakras above. Imagine that you're laying the foundation for a house in which you're going to live for a long time. A solid foundation embedded in firm soil will provide the stability you need to create a home filled with joy for years to come. How do you balance Muladhara? While meditation does connect you to a higher spiritual plane, it also serves to ground you. You may not always be able to trust that the world will give you what you need to survive, but connection to your higher self and trust in a power higher than yourself will give you what you need to feel safe. It does not matter if you call that higher power consciousness, Mother Nature, God, or Spirit. Connection to universal energy will bring you a sense of peace and stability. Dorothy chose that word because she was looking for a groundedness in life. I don't know how many of you know Dorothy well, but if you ever think about a time when the rug was pulled out from under you, she had the rug pulled out from under her in a big way. In a big way. And just felt like she was scattered to the wind. Scattered to the wind. And I think all of us have been there. Flapping in the wind. And when we started to talk about the year of I Am for 2019, she knew that she wanted groundedness in her life. A foundation. So that she knew that she was rooted and lived from a rootedness that was within her rather than outside of her. And if you've watched her lately, you know she's hit it in a beautiful, beautiful way. Her life has just done a total 180. And that's what finding your root does. So this video, when I found it, really spoke to that for me. Because here this young man is just angry. What am I doing here? You're making me practice this stuff. And it means nothing. Not helpful for anything. And like a good teacher, instead of telling him what the jacket on, jacket off meant. If any of you have watched the first movie, the wax on, the wax off, he was just waxing away, painting fences, up and down, up and down. And he too was frustrated with the practice. What the heck is this for? But man, do we know what it's for when that rug gets pulled out from under us. When the tectonic plates of our lives start to shift and stuff starts to crack apart and the world starts to rumble around us and we wonder where we are, where's my solid footing? What happened to what I created? Why is it all tumbling down? Why is it all blowing up? And the wonderful thing about being grounded to having a root that is solid, like tree roots that go down into the ground, deep into the ground, to stabilize the tree, it doesn't matter what winds blow. It doesn't matter what comes hurtling into your life. It doesn't matter how strong the shift. You still have something not only to hold on to, but to stand in, to keep you upright. So that when you start to do this, it just brings you back here. And if you practice enough, then you don't shift as far to the right or the left or get as close to the ground as you used to. You may come here and just wiggle a little. You say, oh, I know this. Stuff's happening. Stuff's hitting the fan. But now I just have a little personal fan in life. I don't have the big commercial fan that undoes the hair and throws you to the ground. And we recover a whole lot more quickly when we've got the practice. So yes, we're here again. Prayer and meditation. Why when I got stuff to do? Gotta get up, gotta go to work, got laundry to fold. I said I was going to start working out, so I'm going to work out. Oh, I don't have time to work out and meditate. I don't have time for this and meditate. I don't have time for this and prayer. I don't have time for this and affirmations. I don't have time, I don't have time, I don't have time. I don't have time because I'm way too busy. And then we get busy and we get on that hamster wheel I talk about a lot. And you hear that wheel grind through your day. And then that wind blows, that strong wind blows. And I always know when I have been out of practice because that wind comes and I get close to the ground. I get close to the ground. And I know that if I had been practicing daily, like I say, I'm going to practice daily, that my face wouldn't hit the ground as hard or as fast. We have to work the root. A chakra is a center of energy. We have more than one. And in the Korean practice that I do on a fairly regular basis, they teach us that this root chakra is so important because if you are rooted, the other chakras stay in balance more easily. And if all this is happening up here, in the Korean philosophy, if your fire is here in the root chakra, then you don't have to worry about having a hot head, having the fire up here. How many days are you hot-headed? Or it's just all up here, feeling like you're going to implode. And so in our practice, they remind us to bring your focus down to the root. Bring it here. Bring it low. Let the fire be here in the gut, so that this stays cool up here, so that the air is free up here, so that you can think, so that you can know, so that this third eye, so that your wisdom center is open and ready to receive and know and recognize truth when you see it. Because when the fire is up here, when you're not rooted, when you're not in your groundedness, there's too much activity to know or to recognize what is really there. We think that our wisdom is somehow hidden, or that it's gone. And the only thing that's happening is that there's too much going on. There's too much fire up here for you to see it, for you to hear it, for you to recognize it. Spirit doesn't stop speaking. We stop recognizing. We have all this going on. The distractions we talk about. The list of things to do is my constant distraction. How many things am I going to get done? This morning I woke up at 3:30 a.m. with lists of things to do going through my head. And so I now use this app called Reminders, and I just put them in there. And I can easily note them, and if I need to put a date on them, I do it, and then it's gone out of my head. I got to put them somewhere other than up here. Plus they don't stay here long. I know it for about a minute or two. And then later that afternoon, when I think there was something I was supposed to do, what was that? It's gone, right? It's gone. So the root, keep your root. Muladhara, this energy center that keeps you grounded. It takes practice. It takes a ritual. Create a ritual that makes you want to run to it every day. Make it something joyful, so that you're not waking up saying, oh, I gotta meditate. We're not going to meditate when we think about meditation that way. Create something beautiful around this energy center, the rootedness, the groundedness of who you are. What makes it beautiful for you? Is it music that sings to you? Lyrics that come to you? Melodies that come to you? Do you need to listen to music in the morning? Do you want to step outside in your backyard and look at the beautiful flowers? See the green of the grass? Yesterday I was out walking and it was just beautiful watching the sun shine down on the frost on the grass. Huge field just frosted over. And the grass was just sparkling. And I hadn't gone walking for a long time. And it was in that moment when that sun was hitting the crystals of that frost that I thought, I need to do this again and again and again. No matter how cold, no matter how warm, no matter what time, I need to get my feet on the ground and walk and be outside and breathe the air, because that grounds me. My spirit sang the entire time I was outside. The entire time. And I walked back in. My head was clear and I'm ready for the day. That's what groundedness does. Find yours. What is it? Do you have a favorite book of devotionals to read? Do you have a particular minister or somebody who's inspirational that you like to listen to? Go through YouTube. There's tons of things on YouTube to listen to. Music to discover. Songs to listen to. That first song we listen to, Sometimes a Prayer Will Do, man, does that take me to a place that I love to be. That song speaks to rootedness. Sometimes a prayer will do. Because when you're up here, all a-fritter with life, say a prayer. Bring it down. Not down as in I'm depressed or I'm sad. Down into the root. Into something solid that grounds you. That gives you a place to feel your strength and your power. To recognize God again active in your life. To know what's important. That's what the root is for. All this up here, out here, doesn't matter. This, the root, is all that matters. The ground upon which you stand, which may be the earth. But it's the higher power that the article I read from refers to. Whatever you call it. Consciousness, God, spirit, the universe, my higher self, destiny, the beloved, divine mind. You can call it carrot. Doesn't matter what you call it. Just call it in. And call it in daily. Call it in when you need it. And just like that video, you won't have to call it in when you need it because it'll be right there. And it looked like the teacher is being mean to the student for a moment, pushing him. And all he was saying is, know what you know. Do what you know to do. Be strong. Feel this. That's what I taught you. Jack it on, jack it off. That's what it's for. That's why I took you through the paces. You don't have to think. And as he kicked and as he punched, the young man responded, didn't he? And then he got surprised. And he's like, oh, look at that. Yeah. Because when you're in practice, when you are grounded, when you are strong, when you got this here, you won't have to look for it. Something will happen and you'll respond. It'll come and you'll do this. So it'll show up and you'll respond. Show up, respond. Not react, not go crazy. Not say something you're not supposed to say, not do something you're not supposed to do. The right thing at the right time, because all along, when you didn't need it, you were here. You were praying. You were meditating. You were grounded. You were steeped in spirit. Knowing. You got to know when you don't need it. Use it when you don't need it. Don't need it. You always need it. But if you practice when the winds aren't high, then when the winds blow, you don't have to think about it. You don't have to wonder, do I have it? You don't have to wonder, what do I do now? Who do I call? You don't have to call anybody, because it'll be right there. Right here. Right here. In a knowingness. And yeah, there'll be times when it shows up and you'll say, oh man, look at that. Just like the young man. Just go, whew, yes. Yeah. That's what this is about. And then that fuels you to do it again the next day. And use that every single time. Every single day. Every single day. Pray and meditate. Prepare yourself for when that big fan starts to blow. And when you're well prepared, you won't even bat an eye. You'll be able to stand there and say, okay, bring it on. I know who I am. I know what I have. I know the ground on which I stand. Be grounded. Let's take this into meditation. Take a deep breath. Exhale. Just be still. For in the stillness is your groundedness. Here is where your strength lies. In the quiet. In the silence. Here in meditation, in prayer, this is the seat of the soul. The core of you is found deep in the silence. If you can, take your hands and place them on your lower abdomen. And as you breathe, breathe from that spot. Instead of lifting the chest, let the abdomen, the lungs fill, going all the way down to the abdomen. And let it inflate. And let it deflate as you exhale. All the way up through the abdomen, through the lungs, and out of the nose or the mouth. Breathe deeply in and out. Slowly. Breathing from the belly, from the seat. Know this feeling, this practice of breathing deeply. So that when the winds get high, go to the breath. Breath deeply in. Breath fully out. Knowing that breath is God. God is breath. Breath is God, and God is breath, animating all things. Let's just breathe together for a few minutes. Just breathe. Continuing to hold the lower abdomen. Let's breathe in together. One breath, one life. Breathe in. Slowly, slowly, slowly. Let it go all the way through your lungs, down into your abdomen. Hold for a second. Now exhale slowly, 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 slowly. Just stay relaxed, continuing to breathe deeply. Knowing that at any time, anywhere, you can return to this inner sanctuary, to the seat of your soul. That is peace. That is breath. That is life. That is God. When you're ready, return to the room.